Tonight, ABC2 News is making the commitment to put some heat on some very cold cases in Maryland. We start out with the story of Tracie Mosley, an 18-year-old girl with big dreams who disappeared some 15 years ago. ABC2 News' Megan Pringle takes a look at what police have had to work with.
It was the spring of 1995. TLC was on the top of the pop charts. And 18-year-old Tracie Mosley was in the prime of her life.
Tracie was incredibly funny.
Stephanie Lurs met Tracie when the two of them were trying out for a local theater group. Tracie, a 5'10" knockout, wanted to be a movie star.
She loved acting. She loved the Addams Family. She wanted to remake the Addams Family movies.
But Tracie's dreams ended in the early morning hours of April 17, 1995. Tracie lived with her grandmother in Reisterstown. Her grandmother was the first to report her missing. According to the police report, Tracie went to dinner that night with a friend. He dropped her off at a restaurant, the Harriman House on Main Street. She met up with her ex-boyfriend. The two left together, headed out to another friend's house so they could grab a six-pack of beer.
He told the police that they had sat behind, I believe it was Franklin High School. He said they had a couple beers and then threw the rest of them away, and that he was tired and he wanted to go home.
The ex-boyfriend told police Tracie asked if she could smoke in his car. When he told her no, she asked to be taken back to her friend's house on Pittston Circle.
He said that she asked him to drop her off back at the apartment of her other friend, and he left her there.
That was the last anyone saw of her. Tracie's purse was found later that night on the corner of Pittston and High Falcon, where Tracie had been dropped off. The only thing missing, a pack of cigarettes. The days that followed were a whirlwind for police as they interviewed people who saw her last, and for the most part, their stories were the same. She went to a bar, had a drink, and then a friend dropped her off. That was it. And then police started getting calls from a woman. For the next week, this woman called regularly and fed police odd stories of Tracie, saying she'd ran into her mother in New York, gotten into drugs, even checked herself into a mental institution. Police followed up on the woman's claims, but all of them seemed unfounded.
I know she would never have left her grandmother. She would never have left Susanna and not come home. Not told them where she was. She loved them very, very much. And there's no way.
Tracie ran away one other time, but Tracie's grandmother felt this time was different. After a week, she called detectives and thought something terrible had happened. Police agreed. Detectives re-interviewed people, questioning people living on Pittston Circle and taking a closer look at the man who last saw Tracie. But their search turned up nothing. After a while, Tracie's case went cold.
Saying everywhere I go, every time I see a tall girl with long blonde hair, I want to stop her on the street and check and see if it's her.
Tracie's grandmother is now gone. Her mother, a lifelong heroin addict, also died a few years ago. Her father lives in Florida, but they never had a good relationship. The only people left advocating for Tracie are detectives who know her case well, and Stephanie.
Even if her grandmother's gone now, even if her mom is gone now, even if the people that she loved and was closest to are gone, I think she still deserves justice. She still deserves to be found.
Megan Pringle, ABC2 News.
On Tracie's case, you can log on to abc2news.com/cold cases. You'll find details on Tracie's case and other cold cases. If you have any information about the disappearance of Tracie Mosley, we urge you to contact Metro Crime Stoppers immediately. To submit your tip, you can call them at 1-866-7-LOCK-UP or text your tip to crimes. And you can also submit your tip online. Just log on to metrocrimestoppers.org and click on Submit a Tip.